Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love. My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Fenixx, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Monday, June 5th of 2023. I figured I'd go ahead and throw a Yahoo in there because I haven't done that in a while. So trusting trusting that you all had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I know yesterday was definitely a very relaxing day for myself, so definitely enjoyed it. So I hope that you all had a great weekend, and let's get this week started off. Well, guys, this week starts off with a bang, like a bang of all bangs, like a bang of all bangs that it just starts off with a bang. So let's take a look at it. Well, we do have that moon that has ingressed into Capricorn. Not really the best place for it. Much rather be across the aisle in Cancer, but it is going to be in Capricorn, making some nice trines over to this Taurus energy, mind you. So there's definitely going to be this element where we might not necessarily feel like doing the hard work. Maybe you don't necessarily feel like, actually being responsible. There's that sort of energy, right? So, and of course, we got to look at, well, with the moon being here, what is this? What is dispositing the moon? Well, the dispositor of the moon, Saturn, is in Pisces right now, 7 degrees. So there's definitely an element where things can be feeling a little off time wise. Like I said, I don't think anyone's really getting the best of sleep, at least like since Saturn has been in Pisces. I think everyone's sleep has been somewhat disrupted with that energy going on. So this is an energy where we really have to just dig deep, with since everything is a little off time wise, whatever like that, we are kind of in between worlds. This is the moment where we really do have to dig deep and actually really is like, acknowledge where our values are, acknowledge if our values have shifted too, because Uranus came through this space, right? Uranus has already come through the first 2 decades of Taurus, right? So we have to acknowledge, like, what has shifted as far as our values go, what has upgraded as far as our values go. And we have to kind of dig deep and actually really embrace and accept that, and then actually like act upon that too. So moon and Capricorn, like I said, trining over to all this energy, but the main thing of the day is Venus and Pluto. Venus is going to come out of Cancer today, and it will move into Leo. So as you can see, we move this forward by 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's what, 9:30, 8:37. So 8:37. So like 6:30 on the West Coast. So pretty much as they're waking up, Venus is going to oppose Pluto. And I've been talking about this. I talked about this a few days ago, how this is going to be a major boss battle for all of us, right? Especially with Mercury having conjuncted Uranus already. We already had the aha moment there. We already had the aha moment with Jupiter conjuncting the North Node, even though these guys are still pretty much conjuncted within a 1 degree orbit of each other. So we still have that energy, but there's aspects of us that want to move forward, like our mind, wanting to move forward, wanting to figure things out, wanting to communicate these values, right? Jupiter, wanting to move forward, wanting to expand upon the space, wanting to really build something, right? Wanting to get creative and build something, build upon the vision that we are establishing for ourselves. All the while, at this point, we will have the moon trining over to Jupiter, which is going to be a nice energy, right? So even though the energy is a little, it's a little tough right now, even though the energy is definitely very, I'm not gonna say it's solid, but it's not solid. It's kind of interesting. It kind of feels like Jello in a way. It kind of feels like we're all just kind of floating in Jello, so it's like solid, but it's kind of wiggly and stuff. But there's this element where it's like, despite the fact that things may seem a little discombobulated sometimes, that we can still dig deep and like find that peace and serenity within ourselves. But like I said, Venus and Leo opposing Pluto is a major aspect. And not only that, but it's happening at a time we're not going to, it's a very unique transit because we're not going to see these energies like this again. That's the thing about astrology too. It's like, yeah, we see the moon come around, it goes through it comes around every 20-30 days, right? The sun comes around, so there's certain energies that we will see quite a lot, right? But there are other energies, especially when you consider the layering aspect of astrology, that you just won't ever see again. Now Venus coming into Leo, it's going to be an interesting energy because it's definitely going to want to bring some sort of creativity and wanting us to really value and express what's in our heart space and our passions, right? So Venus and Leo, it can be a very fiery kind of energy too. Um, uh, yeah, it can be a very fiery kind of energy. But at the same time, it's going to be stressed by this Pluto and Aquarius, which is we're wanting to look forward. We're wanting to like transform our spaces, transform our cliques, transform our community in many ways, transform the world. We're wanting to go into the age of Aquarius. And Venus and Leo is like, yes, let's find those people, let's value those people, let's look in our our surroundings, whatever like that. Who are we connecting with? The relationships that we have. Does their heart align with ours? Do their passions align with ours? Are they expressing themselves unabashedly? Are they expressing themselves as authentically as possible? And then it's like we're wanting to move into that new space. Even Mars, we have here, of course, which had already opposed Pluto, is wanting to move things forward. It's the fastest planet right now, pretty much, and it's really wanting to act on this. So it's like our masculine aspect is ready. It's moving forward. It's wanting to go. But then the feminine aspect of ourselves is kind of a bit of a pullback, especially all of the energy that it went through with Cancer. It was a very, even though Venus would have likes to be in Cancer, it was a very stressful time for Venus in Cancer. It's like Venus tried to, get her nails done and her hair did and tried to do all these different things, but she kept getting calls from people. She kept getting calls from like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? It's like, and kept having to reschedule her stuff. It was a very stressed Venus in Cancer. And it finally comes into a new energy. Not only that, but the pure energy, because it's 0 degrees of Leo, 0 degrees of Aquarius. So this is like the pure forms of these energies coming head to head. Pluto, of course, being this planet of creation, destruction, transformation. It's a very deep planet. All of these deeper emotions, especially when it comes to the Aquarius energy. This is definitely it's Venus and Leo and opposing this Pluto and Aquarius. I don't know why, but I'm hearing influencer energy. But some people, if you are an influencer, this could be a pretty challenging time, because you're wanting to. This could be. I'm hearing that some influencers are probably going to be realizing, what is actually truly important. You know what I mean? And we're all influencers, right? We all influence each other. I'm talking about people that actually do this for like a living. Maybe they have outsourced their value, outsourced what they truly believe in their value for a paycheck, for money, for fame. Venus and Leo, it definitely can carry with it an energy of, you know, maybe doing things to get that sort of adoration, you know. But the thing about the sun is that the sun, it just is, you know. Now the sun is worshipped and it's been worshipped by many, many cultures over the entirety of human history, right? But the sun just does. It just is, you know. Venus moving into the space, especially all of the stress that I just went under in Cancer, it's definitely wanting to do something new and definitely wanting to do something fresh in many ways. But we have to ask ourselves, are we doing these things at the expense of trying to be accepted by others? And then we have to ask ourselves, these people that we're wanting to be accepted by, these groups that we want to be accepted by, do they really align with where our value is? Do they really align with the world that we are looking to build? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves. Because you see, the moon is still squaring this energy. It's within a 4 degree orb as far as like the North Node and Jupiter. And of course, we have the South Node here in Scorpio. So there's certainly this element where, like, yeah, maybe we are looking for some sort of edge with that South Node. And Venus, of course, is going to be coming into the square with the node. So that's going to actually be strong, getting stronger. So as you can see, Venus isn't really out of the woods just yet. And also, this is going to be the sign that it retrogrades anyways. And it's going to do this full retrograde in Leo. So it's not like Venus is really out of the woods. It's not like when it comes to the feminine energy, the more receptive energy, that we're not completely out of the woods yet, because we're trying to figure some things out as far as that goes. So why the masculine energy with Mars is, like I said, it's wanting to move things forward. There's sort of like this interesting pull that's happening between those two energies. The way that we really bring that together is still that Sun and Gemini, though, because we got to remember Gemini's kind of, Mercury's kind of a hermaphroditic kind of energy, anyways. It has elements of both masculine and feminine. So that's going to be the way that we kind of bring this together. That Sun in Gemini, still, like I said, it's going to be by itself in Gemini for the next, I would say, like 5 to 6 days before Mercury reaches that spot. So we got about 5 to 6 days of this, this just pure Gemini energy without anything coming into it. That being said, Mercury coming into Gemini is going to give the Sun a nice little boost, and it's going to start to bring some things to light. The Sun has already brought these things to light. It's already shined its light on these degrees, so that when Mercury comes into it, it's going to be like small little epiphanies, just kind of coming out like, oh, I get it. Things. That's what's going to happen once Mercury reaches that space. But for now, we do have Gemini. We do have the Sun in Gemini here, and we got to remember there's still that semi-square over to Venus as well. So Venus has been under a lot of stress lately. So when it comes to that sort of energy, when it comes to the receptive quality, when it comes to recognizing where is our value, when it comes to recognizing those more beautiful aspects of life that Venus does represent, as far as even like physical beauty and stuff like that. When it comes to all that, it's been under a lot of stress. So if you've been feeling kind of off as far as that energy over the last several months, that's the reason why. It's because Venus has been under a lot of stress. So don't be too hard on yourself, beloved. You know what I mean? So like I said, even though this is a very powerful energy with the 0 degrees, and we're never going to see this again. We are never going to see Venus in Leo at 0 degrees. We're never going to see Venus in Leo oppose Pluto in Aquarius with the North Node and Uranus in Taurus at the same time. We're never going to see that again. The next time that we'll see Venus oppose Pluto while they're in these signs and the North Node is in Taurus, Neptune will be on the North Node. So that's a whole other thing. But Uranus won't be there again. We're never going to see this energy. So this is a very rare time. It's a very rare transit overall when you consider, like I said, the layering aspect of astrology. And that's kind of the amazing thing about it. It's one of the reasons why some people will be like, if two people are born on the same day, how do they not have like the same like outlook at fortune? It's like, well, there's a layering aspect too. Just because people are born on the same day, you have to consider also what times they're born at. You have to consider they might have different ascendant signs. They could have different moon signs. The moon could be transiting that day. It could be going from Scorpio to Sagittarius. You know what I mean? So it's one of the reasons why I do this work and why I teach astrology and why I share this with you guys, because I want you guys to know that the cosmic weather, if you will, it is different. Not to mention, they say that at least the Earth is going through. The Earth I know is spinning faster. I think they technically actually proved that, right? And not only that, but the entirety of the Earth is just going through a massive transformation right now, anyways. And you guys can feel it too. Especially, like I said, one thing I haven't mentioned about Uranus is the fact that Uranus being in Taurus, and Uranus, I believe, rules over the weather. And especially like it can be crazy erratic weather. And it being in a sign of Taurus, which is the most earthly of all the signs, I believe that the Earth actually rules Taurus itself. So the weather has been pretty erratic. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the weather and lately of all these weird earthquakes that are happening, all these different things, it's been pretty intense, and it's going to get more intense, right? So especially as Uranus gets into these last degrees of Taurus, where it gets even more extreme and stuff like that, it's going to get a little more intense. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on this video today. But yes, Venus, Venus in Leo is wanting to look for, it's wanting to express, it's wanting to receive that sort of quality. It's really wanting to express what's in our heart. What is it we love, our passions. This could be a homage back to our childhood, right? But with Pluto and Aquarius, which is having us all wanting to move into the new world, is all having us wanting to move into these new spaces, is still going back into Capricorn. So it's not, we're not quite there yet. We're wanting to receive the new world, and wanting to really express who we are at the purest level, but we can't. It's like we can't quite get there yet. we're not quite there yet. Venus is moving forward, albeit slow, and Pluto is going backwards. So it's like this is like a baby steps kind of moment. It's like we want the whole world, we want to change everything right now, but the universe is asking us to take some baby steps right now. Take some baby steps to not just completely rush into things. I think it's still asking us to still be, courageous and brave and move things forward and not be afraid to act. But it's also saying that you don't have to create the entire thing overnight. You don't have to create the entire castle overnight. You can just build bit by bit by bit. Make sure that you have the right people around you. Make sure that you have the right contractors around you, and make sure that also you treat yourself and you actually take your time to rest when you need to rest. That's the other thing about Saturn and Pisces is, Saturn and Pisces, while there's still this, it's still teaching us that the dream doesn't, you can't build the dream overnight, and teamwork does make the dream work. It's also, consider that resting is very important as well in between all of the hard work. So yes, I think, like I said, we all want to move things forward. We all want to change the world. We all want to make a difference. And that's okay. That's a beautiful thing. But, we got to take some baby steps. It's not going to just happen overnight. So, interesting day. Like I said, we're never going to see Venus and Leo oppose Pluto and Aquarius with the North Node and Uranus and Taurus. And yeah, Uranus is at 20 degrees, so you would think that it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it did already cross these degrees already. So, and like I said, the next time that Venus opposes Pluto with the North Node in Taurus, that's not going to happen. The next time that happens, Neptune will be there. So, like I said, that's a whole nother energy. So, that's a whole nother thing right there. So, let's go ahead and grab the card for today. I'm going to do a tarot card, and I'm also going to do an oracle card too, because I actually really like this oracle deck. So, let's go ahead and get this going. So the card of the day is interesting. We actually have the card of the Hermit, and then underlying card, we do have the Ace of Cups in reverse as well. So yeah, that's kind of the interesting thing. The Ace of Cups, yeah. We could be feeling a little off emotionally. We're like kind of wanting to move things forward as far as that goes, but we don't necessarily have all of the answers. The Hermit card is definitely looking for us to kind of go within and to seek that inner wisdom, if you will. I want to get the Oracle card that's going to be underlying all this energy as well. It's interesting too because this is a time where I feel like we should be going out and communicating with the world around us and having more of the extroverted energy as opposed to the introverted energy. But here, I think this is just about seeking that inner wisdom and just knowing that you've already been given all the tools by the universe. So this could actually be, the Hermit energy here. I'm hearing that there are projects that you may be working on and stuff, and it is good to just take your alone time and really work on those things. Share it with the people that really matter, but I think it's good to like kind of keep some things on the DL. You don't have to keep it on the DL from everybody, but I think it's good to keep some things on the DL too. So I think what's happening is like a lot of us are wanting to be a hermit right now, mainly because things aren't feeling 100% emotionally and stuff. It's like, okay, so I was watching Married at First Sight with my wife last night, and there's this one relationship where it's like the moment that there was a small little spiff or an argument and things weren't 100% emotionally. It's like he felt he didn't know if he could get over it, and it was like it's almost like the entire relationship was ruined. And I feel like we can sometimes do that. It's like if something is not like 100% on, we can be like, oh my gosh, something might be completely and totally wrong with this. So I think that's what's going on here. It's like if you're feeling like things are a little bit off emotionally, just know first of all that the feminine energy has been under a lot of stress lately. So be a little bit easier on yourself. And to instead of attacking and going out and thinking that someone's trying to do something to you or experience trying to do something to you and taking it personally, to kind of go within and to really acknowledge, like, okay, where am I right now? How can I perceive this differently? How can I perceive this differently? Just because things aren't 100% on emotionally does not mean that the whole world is falling apart. That does not mean, that's not what it means. We could definitely get it trapped in our head where it's like, if we're not, oh crap, this thing isn't exactly working the way I want to. Well, I guess the whole thing is messed up. And that's the thing with Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto Aquarius, like, especially with it being retrograde and Venus opposing this energy, it's like if we're not feeling fully on it, people just want to blow it all up, and it's like, whatever. We can't do this. Like, you don't have to blow the whole thing up. You don't have to blow the whole thing up, right? We're not always going to be operating at 100%. It just is what it is. We have to learn to be okay with that, all right? You have to learn to be okay with that. You're not going to see 11-11 all the time. Sometimes you're going to look and it's going to be 11-12. It's going to be 11-15. It's going to be 11-17. Sometimes you look and it's not going to be 420, blaze it. It's going to be like 425 or something like that, or 422, blaze it. So we also have the card of authority. The card of authority. The frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. That's very, very on point with the energy for today, especially with that moon being in Capricorn. It's going to be trining over to all of this Taurus energy. We can be powerful. We can have this vision. We can direct our lives. We can realize what it is that we really want and actually bring it into reality. But we still have to receive, we still have to be wise, we still have to be loving, we still have to be caring to others, and most importantly to ourselves. Not being too hard on ourselves, but taking some personal responsibility, taking some integral action, like I said, be loving on ourselves, not taking ourselves so seriously that we can't actually create the world that we want to create. That is going to do it for your forecast for today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate that. Hit that bell so you can receive all of my daily astrology videos and whatever other videos I end up putting out. So thinking about doing some streaming this week, getting some other things going. And also, too, with my new website, there's a part of my website called The Nest, which is where more of my serial novels going to go. And I was like thinking about that a lot yesterday and doing some cool stuff with that. That's really exciting. I can't wait to really get that project off the ground. But I was doing like some planning as far as that sort of stuff goes. I think that's the thing that I'm kind of going into hermit mode about. It's like I've announced all these other things, like of course, like my new website. I'm doing the astrology videos again. I'm going to be doing my podcast and stuff. But the writing one, the web serial novel, that one's going to be fun. I can't wait to show you guys what I have in store. That's just going to, I can already see how it's just going to grow. It's amazing. Anyways, I'm rambling. Y'all take care. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.